We'll stand by for that. Jordan, thank you. Fresh attacks this morning. 3 more vessels were hit by unknown projectiles in the Strait of Hormuz. Reuters saying this now brings the number of ships struck in the region since the conflict began to at least 14. And we also have reporting that 2 drone incidents near Dubai's main airport forced evacuations. Meanwhile, Iran is claiming it is ramping up operations with plans to target banks and infrastructure throughout the Middle East. The United Nations Security Council is set to vote today on a resolution that would condemn Iran's attacks on multiple Middle Eastern countries and call for an immediate end to strikes against neighboring states. Meanwhile, the political back and forth over whether this war was necessary continues in Washington.
You can't take out their nuclear program with an overhead bombing campaign, just like you can't change the regime into a democracy through overhead bombing.
Our intelligence showed that their game plan was to stockpile so many missiles that it would insulate their nuclear program.
Officials in Qatar say they're willing to serve as mediators between the West and Iran, but can't do that while it's under attack from Tehran. And this is video from U.S. Central Command showing U.S. forces destroying 16 Iranian mine-laying boats. Multiple outlets reported the Iranian military planned to put mines in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane in the Middle East for oil and other commodities. President Trump says there were no reports of mines being put down, and he warned if they were put down, they would be removed immediately or Iran would face serious consequences. The Pentagon, meanwhile, confirmed the injuries of about 140 American service members so far. National correspondent Atra El-Nashar has the details.
In just a week and a half of war with Iran, the world has witnessed a spike in oil prices, much of the Middle East drawn into conflict, and dignified transfers at Dover Air Base for Americans who paid the ultimate price.
We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective.
The question now, how long will U.S. combat operations go on?
And some people could say they're pretty well complete. We've wiped every single force in Iran out very completely.
The White House denying a report by the Wall Street Journal that some of the president's advisors privately urged him to look for an exit plan amid spiking oil prices and concerns that a lengthy conflict could spark political backlash.
Ladies and gentlemen, our work continues. It'll continue to be difficult.
The Pentagon giving no indication things are wrapping up.
To date, they've struck more than 5,000 targets.
We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. But we do so on our timeline and at our choosing.
The Iranian regime saying the exact same thing.
We are well prepared to continue attacking them with our missiles as long as needed and as long as it takes.
Back in Washington, members of the Senate Armed Services Committee getting a classified briefing on the war. Democrats came out of it, they say, with no clarity on a timeline.
It is concerning, it is disturbing, and I'm not sure what the end game is.
We are hearing no logical estimates about when it will be over.
On Tuesday, when asked about how long this war will last, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said President Trump will be the one to determine when his objectives are reached and Iran no longer poses a threat to the United States. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
And stay with 7 News as we continue to follow the latest developments out of the Middle East. You can find all of our coverage up right now on our homepage.